Alright, as many of y'all know, I've been taking a lot of abuse trying to get help in person. In person. See, the thing is, when you're called mentally ill, anybody can say or do anything to you, and they just automatically win. In order to combat this, you have to have someone there in person. I recorded I want to say about 60 or 70 conversations in the last week or so. 2 weeks. I don't know. I've been trying to get someone to go in with me to get the police to actually do their job. Somebody who isn't a complete and total fucking coward. Somebody who actually cares. Not somebody who's just going to pretend to. Not somebody who only cares and makes promises until it's time to fulfill those promises. See, I needed sober help. I needed someone to go in with me before Natalie was fucking killed. Now, in the last week, I've gotten quite a bit of information to throw down on a lot of different predators. From Andrew Witcher to, well, quite a few others. There was a situation that happened, I guess, about 3 weeks ago that had nothing to do with me. And all four of the people that were involved were, well, all four of them blamed me. And I recorded that. I also recorded the fact that they were all drunk. I stated that they were drunk. And the screw ups that they made. And people just want to pretend like I'm doing nothing. No, I've been to some pretty dangerous places in the last 3 weeks. Not as dangerous as Boulder, Colorado after Natalie was killed. But still, dangerous enough to get me a hole in the head. Now, I also recorded witnesses. I got first and last names. I didn't just get the name of the lady who was trying to get people to kill me. I also got the first and last name of one of the people that she was trying to get to kill me out of her own mouth. She also admitted that it was alcohol related. All four of these people admitted that I didn't do anything wrong and I shouldn't have been punished for it. Also, all four of them punished me for it. And I've recorded all of it. I have, shit, I should look at the file real quick. And the thing is that without internet access, I'm at a guy's house where I have the internet access code, which is nice. And he allows me to use it as long as I let him know that I'm over here. But I'm also down to almost no battery, and I'm, of course, homeless again. Now, why am I homeless? Because of abuse from these people who I got recorded this week, and last week, and the week before. See, I told you how it went, and then people got pissed off. But when it all comes down to it, every one of these motherfuckers knows that I'm not after potheads. I'm not after drunks and alcoholics. When the fact that you're an alcoholic is affecting me, yeah, I do need to say something. But then again, you're an alcoholic. If I say something, then you're going to get defensive. And you're going to get hateful towards me like every other goddamn junkie I've ever known in my life. No junkie can ever do anything wrong. Everything that anybody else has to say about a junkie must be a lie. If you're a pretty junkie, you get away with it. A lot of people, yeah, I'll help you out. They wanted to give all of these ideas that pretty people have. Well, I'm glad that pretty people have those, but I'm not a pretty people. I'm glad that you who have a family have those resources, but I don't have a family. There's a lot of things that I'm glad for. Now, at this point in time, I'm really thinking that karma sucks. I got to record some information about Lori Dale and Rick Dale. Most of y'all don't know who Rick Dale is. He's never done me wrong. Lori Dale has. If you know that somebody is being abused and you look away, or you blame them for being victimized, you got some major problems. If you're going to tell somebody that you love them and you believe them, for God's sake, look at the evidence. With most of these people at the very beginning, I'm like, hey, please look at this. They're going to call me mentally ill. They're not going to look at it because of the term mentally ill. I need you to look at it and then go in with me when I talk to the police. And it's like people couldn't get that concept through their head. Now, Candace, I thought almost maybe, but then that situation happened with Officer Michael Beard. You call me mentally disabled and then you punish me for it. You pretend that I'm schizophrenic and you lie and slander over and over and over again and threaten my life and threaten my life and threaten my life. And that slander destroys people's lives. That slander gets people killed. But then again, we got all these trolls up here. I mean, I posted up how many different conversations on this goddamn YouTube? How many? Hundreds. I literally have hundreds more recordings just from the last 3 weeks. Hundreds. I also had to poke a lot of smut. Well, there's Dennis Dickinson. Now, why is it that I had to poke a lot of smut? Because a lot of these people are smut heads. They like to smoke. And when they smoke, they get paranoid of anybody that doesn't smoke. So I have been pretty well blazed for the last 3 goddamn weeks straight. All right, that's not true. I really started hitting it real hard, trying to get this information and record these conversations so that I could show the truth in court. I don't give a fuck about YouTube. Are you fucking kidding me? The only reason I'm on here is because I can't get my shit in court without somebody coming here to Chapel, Nebraska to help me out. Take a look at all of the things that were done to me. A lot of these people that are mad at me, man, once you guys read the conversations between them and I before they stabbed me in the back from my goddamn predators, you realize the whole time I was trying to get help. The whole time I was trying to get the help that I needed. And the whole time people were telling me how to think and how to feel. Now there's another Natalie Bollinger thing. And I'm not sure how well this is recording because it took about 2 to 3 minutes just to open up this page when I got it started. But there's another Natalie Bollinger thing that came in. And this guy is not just as convoluted as the rest of them. This guy actually decided to make his story different than the others just by adding some more slander and taking out some of the bullshit that the other ones were still trying to sell that obviously at this point people know is bullshit. Now, if people were working as hard to help me as others were to try to frame me, to try to destroy my life, to try to do everything in their power to prevent me from being heard, that's what the mentally ill tag does. It prevents you from being heard. Now I'm going to do a quick video breakdown, hopefully, of this. If it's still up here. Let's see. We'll just type Natalie Bollinger. It'll probably bring us right to it anyway, you know. See, oh, here it is. It's called Restrained, Episode 1. Well, at least this person decided to make their start with something extremely important.
Don't wait until election day.
Oh, we gotta listen to these idiots. Let's skip the goddamn ads.
Keep your home comfortable with help from Menards.
No,
Save
who
your
cares?
home energy costs and get 11% off.
I don't want to hear that shit.
The body of 19-year-old Natalie Bollinger was found Friday off Riverdale Road in Adams County the day after. It was all in texting, and I bet.
Now you'll notice this guy doesn't go to any of the stuff that I've said. He just goes to the parts where I am having a fucking meltdown from abuse and trying to get help and getting absolutely nowhere. That's the thing. I'm taking a fucking shit ton of abuse. And you say that it's okay because I'm mentally ill. That makes it magically okay. Meanwhile, there are many people on here whose conversations I recorded in their own words verifying I'm not fucking schizophrenic. You guys just watch too much goddamn Hollywood. Now, this guy, you can hear some screaming, but shit, a lot of my videos, you'll hear a lot more screaming. You'll also get to hear the curse words. This guy tries to put some weird music to it and weird friggin' special effects. Basically, going out of his way to paint a story in a particular way that Sean Schwartz is mentally ill and bullshit. Nina Noel, typed something and then typed whatever it was. It says message retracted. You know, I don't retract my messages. There's a reason for that. I don't have any reason to hide anything. I admitted all my sins for a reason. Did y'all know that in December of 2017, before Natalie died, that I admitted all of my worst sins on Facebook? Nina Noel typed, I'm sorry you got framed. It's not just that frame job. They did everything they could to frame me for a bunch of crimes that they were committing. The police wouldn't look. The police kept on telling me, oh, it's not illegal. It's not illegal. People kept telling me, oh, Sean, we can't help you. We can't help you. It's not our job. It's not our job. Call this place. Call this place. Call this place. Call this place. I'm having to deal with a crooked system, and the difference between them being an entirely crooked system and being at least somewhat honest is whether or not someone is there who is well informed, gives a shit, and is willing to speak out. When you are called mentally ill, you are not allowed to do any of these things for yourself. A lot of y'all are like, you're smart, you should be able to do this stuff, you're a fucking idiot. No, you're the fucking idiot for not listening to the fact that when you are called mentally ill, you are not fucking allowed. Now then, later, after I have been victimized repeatedly across the country because these people didn't come forward, I recorded their goddamn conversations. This is literally months and months and months and months and months after all of this started. In some cases, well over a year. And the Bollinger family did everything that they could, not only to push my buttons and try to force situations where they could. Here's what people had to do in order to get those reactions out of me. They had to make me fear for people's lives. My grandma's funeral with Ted Bollinger on Alicia Bollinger's YouTube profile. The shit that they were pulling. Same thing with Rochelle Shelley Campbell with that pocket dial while I was at Candace Bondurant. See, here's the thing. I had to leave Candace Bondurant over that 911 call. The cop didn't give a shit. But he sure gave a shit the next day to go harass Candace. He didn't come bother me. He went and harassed Candace. Me and Candace are not friends. She is the worst friend I have ever had. The things that she did were worse than what Natalie did. Far worse. But the other thing is, why did I go to Candace, especially after getting rid of her? Yeah, I got rid of a lot of people. A lot of people were out of my life while I was in Virginia. It wasn't just Natalie and Maddie and Alicia. Miss Jerry was out of my life. Candace was out of my life. All of those people who wanted to treat me like I was some sort of a terrible person, no matter what, and then pretend like they care about me. Gang up on me and pretend like they care about me. Yeah, when I left Virginia, I was done with all of them. And if you notice, I ignored all of them. For an entire year, all of them had zero to do with my life for a fucking reason. We parted our ways. We went separate ways. That is acceptable and fine. But that wasn't good enough for little tweaker Natalie. For little heroin Natalie. I can say tweaker and heroin, but if I say junkie, then I'm a terrible person. Nina Noel typed, "It's awful how they treated you. I watched a video on the case. Seeing how they scapegoated you was horrible. Can you tell me the whole story, start to finish, in your own words?" Holy shit. There's over 2,000 videos here of me trying to tell the story. The problem is that I need help in person. A lot of the technical skills that this guy's got to make it all fancy and make me sound like some sort of nasty creeper. Shit, I know people want to buy that shit. They want to eat it up like it's goddamn candy. Holy shit, Sean Schwartz is the next Kaiser fucking Sose. Are you out of your goddamn mind? Not you in specific, Nina Noel.
She was reported missing. Our Karen Morphet there tonight with more new information. Karen, Facebook. I wasn't allowed to go to court! God damn it!
See that? Now what am I pissed off at about there? I'm pissed off because my right to face my accusers, to defend myself, and to show evidence was repeatedly denied. That is something that every American should be pissed off about. Am I incorrect about that? But he's going, oh, well, he's streaming, so he must be a psycho. I'll go through my fucking YouTube here. You can hear lots of people screaming at me, and you can hear me screaming at plenty. You also can hear testimony from Shannon Alvarado that although she was screaming the whole time that I was there, I wasn't. I was there almost 2 months, and I was quiet, and I was meek, and I accepted my position in life because I had to. I had to endure. I had to endure that long enough to get that evidence that was supposed to be there within a week of me leaving Graham and Tabby's place. But Graham and Tabby weren't able to do it. They weren't able to do it until about 2 months later. Now, all of these people, their complacency, long-term complacency, had an effect. And then later on, when I'm checking them on it, they want to throw a tantrum and throw me away and pretend like I'm garbage and I never made an effort. Like, come on, motherfucker. You know better than that. There's also a few people who ditched me right after Natalie disappeared that I reconnected with. I'm going to try to record their conversations too. I had a meltdown last week because I've been trying for 4 years to get someone who isn't a coward to look at this evidence, first of all, so they're not completely ignorant, just sitting there going, well, I don't know what the fuck I'm here for. So they need to look at the evidence. I need to be able to send the evidence out and organize it and all of that stuff. But I need help to be able to do that. My disabilities and your assumptions of my disabilities are not the same thing. Now, a lot of people are like, well, you snap on a moment's notice. No, the fuck I don't. I'm just sick of this shit and I know when to cut you the fuck off. When you start saying, did you call the police? I'm sorry, but I've heard that 4,000 times already. Yes, I have. And after I've answered you once already, and you try to push it again, yeah, I'm going to say, shut the fuck up. Just just go away. I'm tired of your suggestions. If you're not going to listen to it, then fuck your suggestions. And people say, "Oh, well, if I don't make suggestions, how will I know what you need?" Well, how about you listen to what's going on? And instead of asking for me to start over whenever it's at your fancy, pay attention to the fact there's over 4,000 or over 2,000 videos here. Now, I'm going to send you a link here. This is, if I can find it, called For Peaches the Liar. Um, fuck, it's goddamn slow. I guess we'll get back to this other feller's. So we'll play some more of what he's doing. Now, meanwhile, me and Natalie both tried to get help. We both reached out to the same people for help. We both tried reaching out to our families. We both tried reaching out to our friends. We both tried reaching out to the police. But they only listened to her. They only helped her. And Nina Noel, if you're going to continue to retract messages, I'm just going to block you from my channel because that's manipulation. Don't do it. Don't be a coward. And I know that the stuff that you typed isn't anything big and terrible and horrible, but it is evidence that you're interacting with me here on my YouTube channel. I don't hide that shit. A lot of people try to destroy evidence. They fucked up. See, Ted Bollinger thought that if he erased the messages between him and I after I responded to them, that evidence would be all disappeared and I'd never be able to show it. Well, guess what? It still shows it in the notifications, Ted Bollinger, you fucking moron. Now, every time something bad happens to Alicia Bollinger, despite the fact that 3 times in a row it's been due to police and Alicia and her dad, somehow I'm to blame. The last time Alicia disappeared, I had people threatening to kill me. Bobby Forrest was the one who let me know that she disappeared. And thank you, Nina Noel, for your apologies. I am glad that you understand. I curse a lot more, and I am a lot more short-tempered. As rightly I should be. This is 4 years of this shit. Now, I could understand if there was no evidence of abuse, and none of these other people had been recorded and put on my Facebook here. But the thing is, the things that I recorded later on that they're pissed off that I recorded and put on YouTube, all of them had ample time to write that shit down, go in with me to a fucking police station, and hand that shit in person as a group of people with video cameras so that everything could be recorded. Instead, it was me going in by myself because these people can't keep their goddamn word. From Mandy Hughes to Kayla Trujillo, I mean, the list goes on. And then they want to write down in court on my paperwork that, first of all, they allowed the people who I literally had to break the law to try to get a court date because nobody would look at the fucking evidence. I literally had to break the law in order to get a court date so I could try to force the cops to look at that goddamn evidence. And guess what? They not only didn't look at the evidence, they did everything they could to prevent that evidence from being shown in court or from even being entered in as evidence. And they turned off their body cameras. And y'all know how this story fucking goes. Now let's listen to this guy. If you guys go through my YouTube channel here, and those of you who are friends on my Facebook, you can find a lot of this stuff just by looking. You also notice the further we go along, the bigger a fucking asshole I am gonna be. I have to be. When you ignore somebody like Chris Kurth, who is literally, at this point, has followed me across jurisdictional lines to threaten me with another human being. Yeah, something needs to be fucking done. And then when it erupts, and then this situation with another Chris here in town, and a fucking situation that happened like 7 years ago when I didn't even fucking live here. And I got 4 people all coming down on me like somehow that's my fucking fault and my fucking problem. It's not. But it is. They made it my fucking problem. Matter of fact, it got to the point where my life was being threatened repeatedly. But my stuff is all full of evidence again.
Investigators need help with the timeline in this case. Hey, I begged her, please stop.
Yeah, Jim, on Thursday she was reported missing.
With the pretty words, just listen to me. Stop with
The pretty words. You just have to love yourself. I'm going to tell you something. If I love myself, is that going to protect me from these monsters? Because I am trying to defend myself against these monsters. Does that mean I don't love myself? Stop with the pretty words. That's what the pretty words means. When a pretty blonde girl who gets everything fucking handed to her, and sure, she's got her same struggles, same as the rest of us, but she also has a lot of legs up that she's never going to admit to. Why would you? Why would you admit how many perks that you get for being pretty? Meanwhile, I got a lot of pretty females who admitted to the perks that they get because they're pretty. Oh, and by the way, they're also on this YouTube. You're welcome for that too. You guys pretend like I'm fucking retarded. And then you victimize me by pretending I'm fucking retarded. And use that as an excuse to victimize me further. And then you call me intelligent to say that I could have done something about it. No, when you're called mentally ill, you have to have somebody else there. And for the last 4 years, I've been trying.
the bird in one hand.
On Friday, the very next day, someone passing through this area found her body. Today,
Please stop texting me and find time to call and listen. Was either
Now, that comes from the fact that people don't listen in texting. If you're having a fucking bad day and you're feeling insecure as fuck, and I type something to you, I can type the word hello, but you're going to interpret that however it is that you're fucking feeling at the time, whatever your insecurities happen to be. I mean, hell, you might have just had 20 dudes trying to hit on you, whistling at you, catcalling you, and then I say hello, and you're like, fuck you. Well, I'm sorry, I was just trying to say hello. I mean, we've been friends for like 10 years. I don't know why something that you had to deal with other males is somehow my fault. I'm just saying hello.
talking with her through social media or through text.
Actually, the words that I used were Jesus fucking Christ. Now, this one, he has it so that it's recording me, and then at the very end of it, he like pauses it and does this reverse effect with the camera. It's all really cool stuff, but it's not evidence. It's entertainment. That's all it fucking is. Natalie's death is entertainment to you, son of a bitches. Natalie's death is entertainment to this guy. And by the way, what I said was
Natalie's
Jesus fucking Christ.
last Facebook post, early December 2017.
Hey y'all, I have a public announcement. There's a man, Sean Swartz. I met this man when I was young. I ran into him about 2 years ago. Long story short, I became friends with him. I helped him out with rides and stuff. I moved to Virginia, and he drove across the country to see me. Slept behind my work for weeks.
All right, now we're going to time out on that part. Are those things true? Mostly. She just neglected the part where, first of all, she was threatening to fucking kill herself if I didn't. And then she attempted suicide because I wasn't already on the way. That me staying behind, first of all, where she didn't work. Her sister worked there. It was the Cricket store over by the Chesapeake Mall, and it was her sister's idea for me to stay there. It was her sister who invited me to stay there. It was her sister who said, hey, my boyfriend works at Starbucks in the same building. It was her sister who invited me over for cigarettes and to have lunch with her almost every day that she worked. Sounds like stalker stuff, doesn't it? They invited me to Elliot's Coffee Grounds for my birthday. That was the last day that I saw Natalie. My birthday in 2016, October 18th. Every fucking birthday since 2015 has been complete and total shit.